Meth is now easier to get than cannabis. That line comes from a top-secret police document leaked to Newshub, which also shows the number of people selling methamphetamine is rapidly growing because there is so much money to be made. In fact, the market is so flooded, the price is falling. But as Jenna Lynch reports, the government has scrapped the Prime Minister-led War on Peace strategy.
3 months ago, Bridget's 22-year-old daughter Georgia took her own life.
As far as I'm concerned, meth killed my daughter.
Georgia was never into any other drug, not cannabis, not alcohol. It was straight to pee. And while she'd struggled with mental health, her mother, a nurse, doesn't believe that's what drove Georgia to her death.
It was either directly the pee or indirectly, however you want to look at it. That's when she changed. That's when she would be gone for months on end, and that's when I didn't recognise my daughter.
Bridget, who didn't want her last name being used, says Georgia got in with the gangs and started selling synthetic cannabis to fund her pee habit, but that wasn't her only crime.
She was involved in some sort of drug heist of meth.
Georgia's meth-fuelled crime fits into a worrying national trend. A police document obtained by Newshub says there's been a notable increase in pee users conducting violent standovers and arming themselves with firearms in order to steal meth from more vulnerable suppliers. And that's not the only crime it's driving. On average, 1 homicide a year is related to meth. In just 1 month last year, meth was recorded as a factor in 65 crimes involving weapons, 32 involving firearms, and a raft of others. All were increases on the same month in the previous year, with weapons and firearms-related crimes approximately doubling. Back in 2009, John Key launched a war on pee with this message to gangs.
This government is coming after your business, and we will use every tool we have available to destroy you.
The government wanted to choke off supply and in turn push the price up. Back then, the price of a gram of meth was $800 to $1,000. Besides a drop in 2011, the price stayed relatively stable at over $800 through to 2015. But the leaked report shows last year there was a sharp drop down to $600. Bill English won't be taking Key's project on. The annual Tackling Methamphetamine report that was due out in October has been scrapped, and English has passed responsibility to his deputy.
It's absolutely a priority for this government, but as we're seeing at the moment, it's one of, a number of insidious drugs that are out there and in our systems.
But Bridget has a simple message for the Deputy Prime Minister.
Paula, this is killing our young people.
OK, Jenna, so why won't the annual War on Pee report be released this year?
Tom, the report was never finished. When Bill English became Prime Minister, he ordered that all work on that report be stopped, and partly that was because it was showing the same trends as all of the previous reports, part of which highlighted the fact that the war on meth was failing. Now the responsibility for what was a very high-profile project of John Key's has been quietly shuffled to Deputy Prime Minister Paula Bennett, who says she'll be taking a different approach and be making some announcements about that soon, but couldn't tell us what those announcements might be or when they will be made.
OK, Jenna, thank you.
And this is just one